Hello, everyone. Welcome to the AUD podcast channel. For our first episode today, we're honored to have our guest, Mr. Toufic Kriedieh. Did I get that right?
Kriedieh, 100%.
Excellent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing brilliant.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and for agreeing to come on the show. I really appreciate it. I remember sitting with the team and they're like, guys, who's the perfect first guest we want? And they're all like, Toufic. I'm like, khalas. Then we go with Toufic. Toufic's the guy
very
to have on the
popular
show.
nowadays.
Yes,
Very
you are. I've seen the TikToks as well. Quite. I really like the videos. I like the direction you're taking. I think it's a new way to engage with like your brand and your customers as well.
Yes, we're engaging with the new generation definitely, and so it was an opportunity, of course, to talk to the young people, to the Gen Zs, and I always asked, I want the account to be motivational, and at the same time, I want it to be fun.
Yes, and I think motivational for sure, but I think the thing that really stands out and what I liked and what made it quite relatable to me was the fun aspect. You know what I mean? And especially, like you said, you want to target Gen Z, so I think it should have that kind of aspect. What are your thoughts?
It's very important for you to really, for you to shine. Two things you have to do. You have to think outside the box, and you have to act outside the box, and this is what I'm trying to do here. This because people like have this frame of a CEO or a business owner, or that, and it's already preset in their mind how he should talk, how he should act. I'm breaking all barriers here.
Yeah, you're trying to show the I guess more of the human side to what a CEO, the life of a CEO is, and the daily struggles that you, like me, that everyone goes through.
Like everyone likes to really enjoy life, have fun, have family, love their kids, Yeah. And these are principles and morals that I'd like to give it to the new generation. You can be successful and you can be very much human at the same time.
Yeah, no, I really love that, and I totally agree with you. You said something interesting just now. I've heard of think outside the box. I've heard that term. I haven't heard of act outside the box. So could you tell us a little bit more about what do you mean by that?
At the end of the day, it's us human beings and our society. It's good to have things organized in terms of how we live, how we act. There are norms that we live by in the society. But once we go more into the details of our life, I think it becomes somehow controlling the way we act, the way we behave, and it really limits our potential as people, as humans.
Yeah.
So just try to break all of these rules, regulations that do not really add any value.
Yeah. So it's kind of finding the ability to find yourself and be different within the, I guess, the controlling space that you would expect to be in.
Yeah. You have to grab the attention of these people.
Yeah.
Today, these people, the only thing that grabs their attention is a game.
Yeah.
And today, you want to talk to them, you want to pass a message. If you pass the message in a funny way, but at the end of the day, you are reaching your point.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most important, rather than the way you are portraying your point of view.
No, I totally agree with that. And I think, like you said, the way you're delivering the message is what I will remember.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to remember, okay, yeah, that was the message, but how did Toufic present it? That's why.
Yeah.
That's what made it stick. That's whatever,
that's true.
Whatever the funny element was, whatever the case might be.
That's true.
Toufic, I wanted to go back to the beginning a little bit and start from the beginning. So Brands for Less Now, you've been running it for almost 30 years. Wow. And I know you grew up in Civil War, Lebanon. I remember you said that in your first office was in a parking garage.
Yeah.
No financial assistance. So clearly when you started off, the cards were already stacked against you. But you said in an interview, they asked you, what is one thing you would like to instill in people? And you said, I would love to instill hope in everyone.
100%.
And I thought that was very interesting because given your journey, I'm sure it's been quite challenging and so on. So I have a few questions surrounding this concept of hope. So first of all, why is hope so important to you?
Once I will tell you something. Everyone, he comes to this life and he has dreams, he has aspirations. And today, dreams can really turn into reality. What really turn your dream into reality is hope. It's hope, and at the same time, perseverance into your action to really make this dream come true. And I always try to, as much as possible, share my personal experience, my personal life story with the public. I think it gives these young people hope that also they can make it in life, regardless, against all odds, against all the obstacles that they are facing. They can reach there, they can make it happen.
Yeah, it sounds like for you, hope is the bridge between your dream and reality. All the other things that you need to do, the commitment, the perseverance, all that has to be in place. But without that, I guess that secret ingredient of hope to keep you maybe going throughout that is the difference between just having a dream and it becoming true.
100%.
And I'm curious, so what advice, okay, let's say hope is the key between your dreams to reality. What advice would you have to people who unfortunately feel like they've lost hope?
I tell you something, you lose hope, you lose life.
Okay.
As long as you are breathing, you should always have hope into making your situation better and better. And I'm not talking only about money. I'm talking on a social level, I'm talking on sports level, I'm talking on business level, I'm talking on education level, on all levels. We come to this life with very short time span on this planet. You want to just be in the background, or you want to be a shining star?
Yeah.
This is your choice.
Yeah. I like what you said, that you lose hope, you lose life. I think I really resonate with that. I totally get what you mean, and I think the message from what you're saying is, as long as you're here, you still have a chance.
Yes.
To turn things around.
Yes.
It's never, too late.
Yes.
And I'm guessing throughout your journey, there was a lot of, struggles in the last...
Oh my God.
In the last 30 years. So I guess my question to you is, how did you stay hopeful? Because I'm sure there were times that maybe it looked like you shouldn't be, or you couldn't be, or it was very hard to find that.
Actually, the struggle started before the 30 years.
Okay.
I'm today 51 years old. So we can say it started 40 years ago,
Okay.
As mentioned to my followers before, I came from a broken family in terms of a father who deserted the whole family and left us alone. I had to start working since I was 11 years old. Now, imagine going through all the obstacles in life. I had no capital. I had nothing, like really nothing. My only capital in this life was my best friend, was my partner until today, and he is my soulmate. This is the only capital I had in life. And this what kept me going, and because I used to strengthen him and he used to strengthen me. And this relationship really yielded this very beautiful business that we have today.
I think that's a beautiful story. I think sometimes, especially given the experience that you had, you look around for resources, you look around for things that are special, that are the difference. What do you have that no one else does? And in your example, it's your friend Yasser.
Yasser Baidoun.
Yasser Baidoun, shout out to Yasser. From myself and Toufic. I actually had a question about Yasser. So I read in an interview that you said that you were brave and he was wise. That's the balance between the two of you. Yes. So could you tell me a little bit more about your, like, as an entrepreneur, it can be quite a lonely journey. But you were fortunate to have your best friend and your partner, and that's how you guys built this beautiful, successful business. So, two things. First of all, how has that experience been, from starting when you guys were 11 to go through everything to be where you guys now, working with your best friend and building what you've built?
Sometimes, and actually most of the times, it's a matter of energy that attracts each other. And I believe that we had an amazing energy together because together we were able to really achieve a lot in life, starting from our childhood friendship, the loyalty that we had to each other. Now, later on, of course, we started seeing, when you grow up, you start seeing the differences more clear.
Sure.
And the differences between the two characters is we are two extremes. I am Yasser is one of the wisest people that I ever met or I will ever meet in my life. And I am myself one of the most aggressive people in terms of taking risk, in terms of opening and doing it yesterday, not today, etc. And once you have these two extremes, you will end up with the happy middle. And the happy middle is safe, calculated expansion, growth.
That's I love how you said that you guys are two extremes,
Yes.
but both extremes, I think, in business or in entrepreneurship, you need elements of both, because you need to have the times where you are going to take that risk and maybe you don't know what's going to happen, and you need another time that maybe you need to take a step back, be a little bit more cautious about how you're going to move forward. So, the famous saying, that people say, like, oh, you should never work with your friends. I have different views on that. So I've always believed that I would love to, if I start my own business with a friend of mine, that would be like the dream, because you're my friend. But I understand that when there's friendship and there's business. So could you tell us a little bit more about, and this is your best friend, Yasser, in this case. So I'm sure over the time you guys have had disagreements, some fights, some arguments.
Not sometimes.
Yeah.
Every day we have disagreements, by the way, which is extremely healthy. Huh?
Yeah, of course.
Extremely healthy.
Because it's giving you a different perspective on whatever the situation or whatever the matter is. So what advice would you have to people who are considering either starting a business with friends, or you're looking for the right partner to build a business with? What are the things that you should look out for? What are the things that need to be there?
It's very simple.
Okay.
You put two rules into action and things will go brilliantly.
Okay.
Number one, you give both sides, no matter what is the percentage of ownership here, ownership there, this is all secondary. You give the right for a veto for both. Two, when things go downhill, no pointing fingers.
Ooh.
Once you stick to these rules, two rules, you will have the most successful, the most energetic business relation with your best friend.
You need to get a board and put that and send it to every business in the world, because I think so many times the issues come up and those rules kind of cover it. Ownership, how much do I get? How much do you get? All that kind of stuff. And always when it's easy to be friends and be happy and work together when things are going well, but it's when things really start taking a turn, that's where you really understand who is the person I'm working with. And I think the no pointing fingers thing is so healthy and it's so important, because it takes away that blame. We are both equally to blame.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm curious. So when you, I know this is one thing when it comes to entrepreneurs, I think we all have a vision that to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to come up with a brand new idea that no one has thought of, right? I think that's a common misconception that a lot of entrepreneurs have. In your case, for example, and you're one of the big success stories of the region, you had a visit to TJ Maxx in the States. You saw the off-price business model. You liked it, and you saw a gap in the market for a company like Brands for Less.
For sure.
And you just went with it. So what advice would you have? And you, alhamdulillah, have been very successful. So what advice would you have to aspiring entrepreneurs, people who want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't know where to start?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for this introduction of the question, because it's very important to really focus more about the details and the ideas and the thoughts of these people who want to start something new and they don't know what to start. It's very important is, yes, you don't have to invent anything new. We did not reinvent the wheel here, All what we have done, that's my advice to everyone, is once you want to do something that really has a big chance of success, don't just follow the herd. Don't copy. Don't imitate. Have your own niche. And this is the most important thing. The niche could be the idea itself. The niche could be a new product. The niche, it could be lack of supply of the product or the service in this territory. It can really portray itself in different ways.
So it's about finding the niche, in whatever vertical you want, in whatever way you see the niche.
Yes.
Technically, it doesn't necessarily have to be product, like you said. It could be environment, maybe audience, maybe technological change, whatever the case might be. So the advice is start by thinking about what you'd like, and then try to find a niche within that. Would that be fair?
Of course, and especially today also, even you can be niche in the tools. Marketing today is so much important. The impact of marketing today, we live in the era of marketing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I think that's why things like this podcast have become such a popular marketing tool, because you're giving a voice to the brand that I think before you couldn't find, or you weren't able to get that level of maybe intimacy or relatability with like the brand, for example.
True.
So during your journey, during your career, I know you've made many mistakes. One of my favorite stories, though, is when you guys over-ordered, I think, a lot of garden mats.
Yes.
And you're like, what do we do with these? And you had the brilliant idea to sell them as prayer mats instead.
Exactly.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
When I read it, I'm like, genius, perfect.
Yeah.
You just fit it to the market that you have. And you've said in some interviews that one of the biggest reasons for Brands for Less's success is your ability to adapt, pivot, and you just said it a little bit earlier as well. I think it's part of your mindset is not go with the herd. Like you said, in 2008, when everyone was closing, you guys were buying. When this was happening there, when everyone goes left, you go right. So
100%.
My question is, as a business, or I don't know, someone running a business, how do you develop that mindset to become agile, to pivot quickly, to adapt? Is it a mindset, or do you have to have certain tools and processes in place to enable you to do those kind of things?
Yes, I tell you something. Of course, it's a mindset. Two things. You face any problem, you face any danger, you fight or you flee. And today, of course, in business, you always have to think how I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
You have a problem, you have a dead stock, you have any issue inside your company, human resources, banks, financial, etc. The most important thing is always do not look at only the big picture. Of course, you have to assess the implication of the problem.
Of course.
But for you to devise a solution, always dissect your problem into small problems and deal with each part separately, and you will be able really to overcome any problem. And always try to think outside the box, as we have discussed.
So on that point, how do I train myself to start thinking outside the box? Because I think it's a term that we all use quite frequently, quite normally. Think outside the box, think outside. But I don't know, like, if you told me think outside the box, I'd be like, okay, how?
How? It's very simple. Instead of asking yourself why, ask yourself why not.
Okay. Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about like the idea behind that?
Like you're sitting and the most important thing is, today at a certain level, we have very good teams. We have very good people that they part of our family. They work with us, the family of BFL, of course, the Brands for Less family.
Yeah.
And their contribution is like priceless, and we believe in them, and they share with us problem solving. They share with us the management of the company. They're very extremely reliable team that we have. And we were lucky to really have these people part of the Brands for Less family. Today, once you wanna, but at the beginning, of course, we were doing this thinking process. Was only between me and my partner.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Now today, with the team being with us, we always consult people. We take as much opinions to be put on the table with no hesitation. Every thought that will come to their mind, they will throw it on the table. And the idea or the basic or the fact that they know that we as owners, we think outside the box, they are ready to put suggestions outside of the box.
I see. So you kind of fostered an environment to encourage people to
Yes.
think outside the box,
Yes.
because, like you said, there's no bad idea. It's just thoughts. It's just ideas, and everything is taken into account. And who knows? Maybe someone's idea. Maybe we didn't think of that. Maybe you didn't think of that. That could be the game changer, right?
Even today, the why not is part of our philosophy in the company.
Awesome.
Even when we're sitting with our people, our members of the family, and someone comes with an idea, and if I come, I say, I don't think this is a good idea, and he goes like, why not?
That's awesome. So it's I really like that, because you're challenging the other way.
Yes.
You're challenging from a positive way, not from a negative way. Because if I ask you why, it's kind of like, why? It can come off maybe accusatory or negative,
Yes.
but why not is like, it's
Exactly.
lighter. It makes you think of it and approach the problem in a different way. No, I
Exactly.
think that's a really, really smart idea. You famously said that everyone loves a bargain, and I think everyone in the world will agree with you. And the kind of experience with brands for less is kind of like a treasure hunt. You're finding that one piece that you love and so on. Obviously, as you know, price does play a factor on our minds psychologically. So we typically associate, if something costs a lot, it's very pricey, that it is of the highest quality and it's the best. And vice versa, if it's something that is on the other side, low quality and it's a low price. So I know, because as a consumer, I've experienced this myself. You're comparing between this and this. Maybe this is like 100 dirhams, 200 dirhams more expensive. This might still be a better product, but that difference is affecting my decision and the quality I think that this can provide me. So I know with Brands for Less, you guys are delivering the same quality, the same level of brand that I'd find in any store, but for a lower price.
For sure.
But the price aspect is the psychological price thing is still there. So could you tell us your thoughts about the implications of price, and how have you overcome this with Brands for Less?
Of course, today off-price retail is a major part of the, as a major player in the cycle of the product.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, each product has a life cycle. And, at the end, it reaches the off-price retailer. Of course, high-end brands can really afford to destroy the product. But medium brands, they cannot afford to destroy the product.
Yeah.
So today, that's why you will find we are very active in this tier in terms of brands. Of course, we have the luxury for less that we launched lately, but it's more of small stores in terms of size, offerings, etc. But with the Brands for Less, because we deal with medium, upper brands, of course, the product availability is there due to the fact that the product life cycle has to go to the off-price retailer, and we were lucky enough to really engineer the off-price retail module in this part of the world. We were the first ones to come and put this concept. So and it's a network that has been built for 26 years that enable us to really put our hand on the best offers in terms of price quality ratio. So the business does exist because the need exists, because the product exists.
Yeah.
And today, at the end of the day, the whole concept revolves over a treasure hunt experience. We came to this planet. It was Adam and Eve, animals around us, and we had to hunt. So it's inborn in our nature. Hunting is something that we knew since we existed on this planet. So today, when you go to this store and you are able to get the same product, the same brand at a discounted price, you hold to it.
Yeah.
You run to the cash register. You're so happy that you are a winner. And this is the idea that we want to give to the people. And this is the feeling that the people get buying from Brands for Less. That's why you see the customers coming every single day.
Yeah. And I think you made a very good point about that winning feeling. That feeling when you really feel like you've gotten, and that doesn't necessarily apply to price, but when you have a good win that has come with value, come with, work, come with effort, the time I'm putting in to find this. I think that feeling is priceless.
Yes.
That feeling is priceless, and that's not a feeling that I think you can find in many industries these days. When you were talking about, I know when you started your business, you at the beginning, the way you had to build it up was developing really good relationships with the suppliers at the beginning to give you more stock and so on, and to build those relationships and that trust. And you've said something once, and I thought this was really, really interesting, that there's no shortcut to earnings people respect. It only takes time. So I'd like to hear from you, Toufic. How would you define respect, and how do you know when you've earned it?
Let me start by defining business.
Okay.
Business is two words: ethics and economics. Now, if you play by these two ingredients, you're going to have a very successful business. And when I say successful business, you have to respect comes as a part of the package. You cannot do something immoral or forget about your ethics and have a successful business. You cannot sell fake product and be successful business. Doesn't work. You cannot buy at the wrong price and have successful business. That's why ethics and economics, they go hand by hand.
Ethics and economics. So I think what it sounds like what you're talking about is, when it comes to business, that your credibility is everything.
100%. Your credibility with the suppliers, your credibility with the creditors, your credibility with your own people. It's a matter of credibility that being tested every single day.
Yeah. And I think also on the credibility point, and I love how you said credibility not just to customers, not just to suppliers, but to your own people as well.
Course.
I think that is a big one that I think sometimes maybe either isn't spoken about enough, or that people tend to maybe forget.
Of course.
So,
and we are very proud that, during this past pandemic that took place, that we did not fire one employee. And coming out of
that's
this,
amazing.
yes,
That's amazing.
Coming out of this tragedy, I can call it, economically, because for lots of people, they lost their jobs, lost their businesses, lost their practice. We were very proud that really we took good care of our members of the family.
You should be very proud of that, because I know very few industries or companies that didn't let anyone go, or restructured, or whatever the case might be. So that's a huge plus and a huge accomplishment for you. You should be very proud of that. That's really amazing. Speaking on the pandemic, we talked about how COVID has accelerated digital transformation globally, right? And since the dawn of the internet, if we look at the history, the biggest companies that were too big to fail, the Nokias, the Ericssons, the Kodaks, where are they today? Yeah, they're not around anymore, or they're not definitely what they were before. And they never got with the program. They never adopted that digital transformation. They never went where the world is heading. So my question to you is, if we have such big examples that were too big to fail and have proven to have failed for not adopting technology, why are companies, some businesses, still so hesitant to do it? For me, it's I don't understand.
Listen, there are two types of people.
Okay.
People who invest long term and people who invest short term.
Okay.
In other terms, people that they want return fast and people who want return on the long run. I believe in the second one. We might differ in our ideas or our thoughts on that subject, but investing in technology is a long-term thing.
Okay.
So you have to have the mindset that no problem. This year, I'm going to take 70, 80, sometimes 100% of my profits, and I'm going to put them all together into investment in technology. And that's what we have done lately ourselves. We really invested so much, so heavily in terms of robotics, in terms of building a state-of-the-art fulfillment center for our online platform. And, very soon we're going to invite a press to see one of the most, I can say the most, but I have to to really double check
For legal reasons.
at that date. It's gonna be the most high tech warehouse facility in the United Arab Emirates.
Wow.
We would love to take people to see it. We're gonna take the media and we're gonna cover it.
I've seen, I think, some just quick videos on TikTok, and I just see like it's just a room with machines like
Yes.
going and moving and flying all over the place.
This is a small sample of what is being built right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I think the world is moving to that, more of that automation, more of that seamless, AI, all that kind of machine learning.
And very important, I want to say something,
please.
because, lots of people, when they want to hear about something or give their opinion, and I get a lot of interaction from people. Some of them, even their reaction is short term in terms of like, you're doing automation, it means people are losing jobs. It doesn't have to be like this at all, might be exchanging profession with another profession, yes. And on the contrary, this automation will give you the power of scalability, and scalability, it means more jobs being created.
Exactly. And it also gives you're freeing up people's time. So it gives you the ability to reallocate some of the resources you may have. So people who maybe are working on this, if this is automated now, okay, we can direct them to something else. Like you said, switch professions, right?
Yes.
And do you know how, so when the internet came, we entered the information age, right? It was the age whoever had access to the most information was going to be the most successful.
Of course.
Now, 2022, here we are in the data age now.
Of course.
And all the things we've talked about so far, like the technology, the automation, the way things are working. My question to you is, how did we get here? Why has customer data become like data, not just customer data of any kind, whether it's medical, whether it's scientific, whatever, data, that's all you hear these days. Why has it become so important to the success of any business?
Listen, at the end of the day, it's as a human nature, or as all religions state, even for people who don't believe in any religion, we were made on this planet to evolve. And we've been evolving from day one until today, until extinction. So evolving, this is something shouldn't be surprising at all, because our nature is to evolve. Now, why it's very important data? Of course, data, because you are more and more targeting the profile of your customer, the profile of your product, the data gathered for you to be able to know what are the price points, what's happening in the economies. It's all data. Everything is data driven.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, those insights nowadays, I think you would know much better than me, but I feel like nowadays, given how, like you said, the world has evolved, the technologies that people have at their hands that maybe only a few might have had back in the day, has made data and insights, that's the new battlefield on how you're going to compete with like your competition.
Of course.
And could you tell us an example of like how have you used, for example, customer data and to like make maybe a small change that had actually a much bigger effect than you thought?
No, I tell you something. Data is gathered everywhere.
Yeah.
Data is gathered on the level of the store, on the level of the financial transactions. Data is on the loyalty program, on your social network platforms, interaction of your clients, etc. It's a matter of you analyze all of this information, and there always will direct you how to find your path in terms of being able to really cater for the client's need. And this is not something that we invented. Like all the companies all around the world today, you see yourself, you go, let's say on an online platform and you start shopping, and then, you get busy with something else and, you forgot. Automatically there is artificial intelligence that today, and I would always advise, invest today in the artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is the key for you to be able to be more precise, more accurate, and more efficient.
It gives you that laser focus.
Of course.
Yeah. And I love the example that you used, because like an example you said, I didn't even buy anything, but you saw now what I liked. You saw.
I saw what you like. It will give me a notification that I come next day or after 1 hour and remind you to finish your shopping. You know, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to come to me.
And you talked about how on this data aspect, and this is something that I found very interesting. You said that direct to consumer now is the biggest probably disruption in the retail market, because you're taking all the different verticals that are required to run a retail company and you're putting it into one product, into one service. And you've always said that brick and mortar stores are always going to be there. And this is the interesting part. You said your in-store affects your online. Now, this is what I found interesting, because I didn't see the link. I thought I could have a normal in-store, like a brick and mortar store, but be excellent digitally. So first of all, what are the factors that create a great in-store experience? Let's start with that.
You know, it's very simple. It's like a tennis game. You
Okay.
know, the ball should be going from here to there. This is what's called omnichannel today.
Okay.
Omnichannel is, the interactivity between your brick and mortar and your online platform. Today, when we say interactivity, it means it has two objectives. One, to give more options to the customer, and two, to increase the sales for the company. So today, the customer goes from here to there. The correlation between the two platforms or channel of distribution should be so much in harmony, whereby you will have a seamless shopping experience.
I see. So
as a customer,
yes.
Even it's very important. Like today, for example, there are the digital wallets that we just started implementing. This reduces the friction between the salespeople and the customer. You don't want this friction happens. They're coming, give me refund, give me voucher, give me that. It's automatic. Everything goes into your wallet. You buy from the online, you take from the store, you use it here, you use it there, And at the same time, you have return. You want to go give it to the store, because it's very important to increase the traffic for the store. Even if you are bringing the item back from the online to the store, you're walking into the store. There's a probability they're going to catch more items, especially in the treasure hunt experience that we provide.
I see. So that's very interesting. So they almost mirror each other.
Of course.
This has to reflect each other.
They mirror and they fuel each other.
And they fuel each other.
Yes.
So, okay, but let me ask you this question. If I know they have to be in harmony and they should be mirrors of each other, but if I was like, you have to pick one to focus on, at least to start, where would you start? Online or in store?
I told you they go together.
Of course.
They complement each other. They tango together. Today, you cannot sustain business only brick and mortar. Today, before, yes.
Yeah.
Today, with this technology, now it's finished. It's a tango dance. It needs two.
But you could probably be purely online and it could work that way, no?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about companies that are originally brick and mortar.
Okay, I understand. Not just that are purely digital e-commerce websites. Okay, then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but remember, today if you want to go, and this is also one of the things that I get asked by many people.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that okay, I'll just get few products, I open my website and I start selling. Doesn't work like this. Today there are marketplaces and there are companies. These companies, once they have a physical existence, brick and mortar, it's much easier path for them to sell the online or sell their products online, because there is a presence for them and there's a trust in the company.
I see, and it's tangible. Like I can go and I can experience it.
Of course,
and,
and you can go and get your return, your refund from the store.
Yeah, no, and that's really, really interesting. That I love what you said, that they're mirrors of each other. Because even I, in my head, I didn't see the correlation. I thought they could individually stand alone in whatever different ways, but listening to you now, I totally get what you're saying and how
it gives you more confidence to go online.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah.
This confidence is very important, because Today there are lots of sites that they come even on your social media,
Yeah.
and you order things and you never receive in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
it happened to us many times, no?
Yes, I can definitely speak to that. That's for sure. Toufic, I just have a few more questions for you for today, and thank you so much for everything. You've been fantastic. One of the biggest things you said that is important to you is supporting families to get an education and giving back to charity.
Yes.
So I would like to understand from you, where does that desire to do so come from, and how has that improved your life over the years?
I will speak on my personal level.
Sure.
I'm a person who really suffered in terms of trying to find finance for my education. I managed to do it, and for me it was like it was a nightmare. You know, finding the finances for me to be able to complete my education. I was lucky enough to really find the resources for me to be able to finish my education. So scholarships, and let me start from what we believe.
Sure.
We believe always, to start with, we have the values that we try to really live by on a personal level, and the values that we really like our family of Brands for Less to really have. We are not there only to make money. Yes, we make money, of course.
Of course.
We are a profit organization. But at the end of the day, it's not only about money. There should be always this moral aspect of your existence in this business world. So it would be very beneficial for everyone who works for you to know, that this company, it's not only about money. It's only about a cause. Today, me and my partner, we both believe in, and we don't have difference over there. This is one of the very few things that we don't fight over. We believe in education, and we believe that instead of giving fish, just teach them how to catch their own. And so we have really extended our scholarships to the American University in Beirut and other universities in Lebanon, to really educate this new generation, for them to be able to help their families.
That's a really a beautiful thing, Toufic, and I love that it's one of your values. And I've learned in my personal experience that I thought that success meant purely financial. When I was younger, that's literally all I thought. I thought about money. And then I listened to a podcast I watched, and someone said the best thing money will get you so far, but after you have money, it's not going to fulfill you. And he said that giving back and helping other people is like that will you'll never not be fulfilled.
The most rewarding.
Yeah.
Psychologically, it's the most rewarding.
Absolutely, and I totally agree. So I love that you echo that as a value of the company, and helping others, get education, because that's the key to opportunity. That's the key to take you to that next step to help your families or whatever your financial situation.
You give goodness will come back to you.
Totally
What
agree.
goes around comes around.
Absolutely. So just last two questions. So this is a bit of a lighter one. So on one of your TikToks, I think you were being interviewed, and you said once upon a time you were amazing at making falafel sandwiches, and you're still very good. So
Yes,
is there a secret Toufic sauce or recipe that
There is no secret sauce, and you have to be very generous in terms of the ingredients in the sandwich, and you have to have the fresh ingredients, of course.
Yeah, that's good to know. So no secrets. You sure?
No secrets.
No secrets?
No secrets.
Okay, fine. Maybe we'll find out after. And for my last question, Toufic, so with my own podcast, I always like to have one or two questions at the end that I never should tell the guest, and I ask everyone, because I think everyone has a different answer.
You never told me any question from before, by the way. Okay.
But the question I have for you is, how would you like to be remembered?
A person who came to this life, struggled, but never lost hope, raised the most beautiful kids, created a legacy, and he will not be forgotten the day he passes away.
I can't ask for a cleaner or better, more, honest answer than that. That's beautiful, man. And I wish you all the best. I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the show and being our first guest. We're honored to have you, and we look forward to, inshallah, having you on many more times. For people, if they want to get in touch with you, Toufic, if they want to connect with you, could you plug in, tell us where we can get in touch, where can we reach you?
I get contacted always on social media.
Okay.
I'm a person who handles his social media personally in terms of DMs, in terms of messages.
The messages, yeah.
I don't delegate this to someone else.
Okay.
Of course, we have very good people who help me, very young, very energetic in terms of, sitting and, thinking about new ideas. But they can go ahead and DM me on my social media platforms.
Social media it is, guys. You've heard it here. Toufic, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Me.
Thank you.
Thank you.